Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
Hello, and welcome to Tech Talk, y'all. Episode 398, a production of Edgewise.Media. I'm Sanjay Parekh.
And I'm Adam Walker, and we have a barrage of articles for you today coming at you from every possible. We got robo-taxis, we got AI, we got trillionaires. I mean, we're just going to town. So
You're going to feel it coming from all different sides. And at the end of this, you're going to feel like you were in a boxing match with Mike Tyson and it just wasn't fun.
I feel like technology news has gone from like where we felt like when we first started this, right? We felt like we needed to make it entertaining. So we entertained ourselves. It's entertaining by itself now. Like technology news has some drama and some flair. And like, it's kind of like watching a soap opera on a weekly basis.
You just made us old by going like, when we started this, I used to go to school uphill both ways in the snow.
I did. Thank you for recognizing that. Yes, I did. That's how it went.
We had to amuse ourselves.
Yeah,
during that time.
That's also true. Yes, yeah. Also true. All right.
Well, let's get into it and talk about somebody that's amusing us a lot
on the regular.
Tesla changes meaning of full self-driving, gives up on promise of autonomy.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, this goes back to like Musk for years was selling cars saying everything in this car has everything it needs from a technological standpoint to be full self-driving with no supervision.
Full self-driving.
And now they've had to go back and say, well, no, it's not. They're not going to be technically there. And it's full self-driving, parentheses, supervised is the new, which is, I mean, that's when I think of, my child that I'm teaching to drive. And when she's full self-driving, obviously I'm going to be in the car with her at all times as she's driving to school. And she'll be full self-driving with me in the car for the next 30 years. That's full self-driving. Obviously. So
full self is the self means everybody.
Yeah.
That's what self means. Self means us all. Because you don't want to be by yourself.
Yeah. It's
because that's lonely. And so self is everybody.
It's sad. It's sad. Yeah. Speaking of sad, Musk's $1 trillion pay package is full of watered down versions of his own broken promises.
Including full self-driving.
I don't even know what to make of any of this stuff. Like, did they basically just go like, all right, listen, dude, you can have $1 trillion if you'll finally do what you say you're going to do. Is that really what this is? Like, is that what they've done?
Well, but then he was like, well, yes, but let's change the meanings of all of it, apparently.
Yeah. Well, just move the goalposts. I mean, if you're not getting the score, you just move the goalposts so you do. That's how this works. You change the rules.
I mean, that's how,
That's how everybody that I know that is a billionaire operates. Obviously,
because he's clearly gone to the school of thought where everybody gets a medal when they even enter the race. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter if you don't finish; you still get a medal.
I don't think he thinks everybody gets a medal. I think he thinks it's him versus the entire human race.
Okay, maybe he thinks that only he gets the medal, no matter what position he is in the race.
I heard somebody say like what $1 trillion for a person would be. I forget the analogy. It was something like if you got $1, if you counted a dollar a second, how many years it would take you to get to 1 million, and then to get to a billion, and to get to $1 trillion, it would take you like 32,000 years or something like that.
It's ridiculous.
It's like, okay, great. That's good to know.
But okay. Yeah. There's a certain level of wealth that I'm just kind of like, okay, so you got it. It doesn't do like your lifestyle doesn't change after a certain point. Like it doesn't matter. What's the point at that
and
point?
even and more importantly, studies show, your level of happiness after a certain level of wealth, which is not as high as you'd think, your level of happiness is almost not affected at all by more of it, which is fascinating. So
exactly. But you won't have to have that much of a level of wealth to do this next thing. Lyft's first robo-taxis are live in Atlanta.
I do love Lyft. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they, Uber obviously is already here with the Waymos, and I've seen them. I just saw one yesterday, actually, driving around. And I'm like, there's another car that's going to mess up traffic.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get freaked out by something.
Right.
Lyft's doing it, and they're doing it in, I've forgotten which one. Honda. No, not Honda. Toyota Siennas. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the minivan. So bigger
the swagger
vehicles.
Wagon. Yeah. We all know it.
Swagger wagon.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they're driving around Atlanta now. I think initially they're going to have a supervising person in the driver's seat.
Yes.
So clearly it's full self-driving at that point.
Obviously.
And so over time, I think they're going to remove the driver from the driver's seat around Atlanta. So
based on your response to my swagger wagon comment, I think there's a YouTube video I'm going to need to send you later because you obviously didn't get that reference. And I'm as a parent of more recently little kids than yours are, I'm a little offended. So I'm going to make sure that you get that.
We still have a minivan. We just have a Honda Odyssey. So I don't know.
That's okay, but that's not a swagger wagon. And if you know, you know. So I'll make sure you get the video and you know. All right. Amazon's Zoox jumps into U.S. robotaxi race with Las Vegas launch. Okay.
So on the other side of the country,
I have so much to say about this. Number one, it's been called a toaster on wheels because it's not designed like a car. And I actually think that's really smart because like if you're going to do a robotaxi, like there's no reason to design it like a traditional car.
Right.
There's no don't do that. You don't need a lot of the other stuff. Okay. So that's good. You can only pick it up at like certain locations in Las Vegas. It's, very, very limited area, like 3 football fields worth of driving. That's good. Here's the issue I have. You're going to build a non-traditional vehicle where people sit facing each other. So somebody's always going backwards. So the people that get car sick, that's not great for them. But you're only going to seat 4 people in the vehicle.
Yeah.
That feels so stupid to me. Like, why not make it seat up to 6, but comfortably 4 or something like, you know what I'm saying? But they built it for 4 people, which again, just feels downright insane to me that you would kind of go like, oh, let's go above the regular car, but it's going to seat less than the regular car. Like, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at the way that it's configured on the inside, it feels like you should be able to do 2 more seats kind of on the sides.
Yeah.
Or something that would work. Right.
I love the ingenuity. I just feel like they really missed the boat with the number of seats. And maybe that's just me with like the ginormous family coming out, that I feel like that's ridiculous. But it just seems odd to me that's, but maybe, but then again, I guess if I'm going to argue against myself, maybe the average ride in a cab is like 2.3 people and they're being generous with 4. I don't know. Maybe that's the, I don't know.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Anyway, you cut it, your family, you're going to need 2 of these things to cart you around.
Which is why when we traveled to China back in the day, we had to rent buses, like full on buses. That's what we had. So that's another story for another day.
Anyway, buses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talk about another story for another day, and China actually as well. Interim NASA head tells agency that will beat China back to the moon. Okay, here's the thing that irritated me about this story.
Okay.
They were like, well, don't let safety be the thing that holds us back from achieving.
Yeah, it shouldn't ever hold us back. Let's just scrap safety and let's strap a rocket to our back and just let's go. So
here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was around in 1986.
Yep.
When the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that was a problem.
That wasn't great.
We lost a lot of people. We lost the first teacher in space, Krista McAuliffe, who was on that mission. And let's not do that. And it's not like that's been the only one.
No.
Was in a Discovery, and then there was one more. I've forgotten the other one that exploded and had an issue. Space travel is dangerous enough with already the focus on safety. And now you're going, maybe let's not do safety so much.
But I think you're missing the upside. Okay. Here's the upside. All the flat earthers are going to lose their freaking minds. And they're going to be convinced that it's all AI generated it's going to be so great to watch the whole thing go down on the internet. Like it'll be so like that it's going to be amazing. So I'm just saying, I'm here for it. I'm ready. I want the flat earthers reaction to it. That's what I want.
What do the flat earthers that believe in AI think happened like 30 years ago? Do they think 30 years ago AI was a thing and was generating?
Dude, they're convinced that you can see like the cables holding Neil Armstrong up so he like bounces slowly on the moon. Like they're like if you go down, you don't want to do it because it will mess with your perception of reality. Because you'll be watching it, you'll get it, and you'll be like, man, that's a good point. Like I don't even know how to. I don't know how I feel about what I'm feeling about how I'm seeing what I'm seeing here. Like that, So you don't want to do it. Just don't do it, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth. But it's
no, it's okay. I believe in science and physics and all those
you and
things.
Me both. Yeah, you and me both. Yeah. All right, undersea cables cut in the Red Sea, disrupting internet access in Asia and the Mideast. Was this like an intentional thing or an accident, like a boat anchor sort of deal, or like what? Do we know?
We don't know, right?
Okay.
It seems like maybe the Houthi rebels or somebody did something that they shouldn't have been doing, and now a lot of people don't have access to the internet, so they can't go and look up videos about Neil Armstrong with his wires on the moon and stuff.
Dude, they're missing out.
That's why it's a problem.
They're missing out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why this is a problem. We have talked about these things before, and I think it just further highlights how fragile internet access actually is in a lot of places.
Yeah.
I mean, here in the US, like we don't worry about these kinds of things so much. But every now and again, like you might be in an office or a place and a backhoe has ripped up fiber cables and it's like, oh, nobody has internet now.
Yeah.
So
and then you basically just go home and take a nap because nobody can work without the internet, obviously.
I know. So. Like I don't like, what did they do before 1993?
What did they do before 92? AI wrote their emails? I don't know what they did, right? But it's right in my emails and I'm happy about that. So
what would you do? Like a caveman type out emails yourself? Like, man,
that's crazy.
That is crazy. Yep. Something else that's crazy. Google reframes its statements about the rapid decline of the open web. Yeah.
Surprise. I mean, of course they did. Yeah. You can't, you make it say, of course they're going to reframe it and, walk back a little bit. I guess. Fine.
Yeah. But what's funny is then the next story, let me just go ahead and throw that in too.
Yeah.
Sam Altman says the bots are making social media feel quote unquote fake.
Yeah. Okay, dude. Sam Altman, man, like, listen, where you been the last decade, dude? Like
this is your fault.
That one, no, but not just that, dude. Like social media has been fake. Like I think since 2005, social media has been fake. Like, let's just be real. Like it's gotten faker and faker and faker, right? And all the stupid filters that people use and all the, you got to do this angle and not this angle, like all that, whatever. Okay, that's fine. But like, it's just gotten worse and worse. And now, of course, AI bots are making it worse and worse and worse. Yeah, of course it feels fake, dude. Like, get a grip.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah,
you are part of the problem.
Yeah. So yeah, whatever, dude. It's I read that.
Talking about the rapid decline right there. Like you are part of the problem, right?
I mean, listen, let's keep talking about the rapid decline. By the way, I will say for this next article, I think this is a clickbaity article. So I'm gonna read it. I don't like Elon, but I don't think this is what he's saying. So Grok can rewrite Wikipedia to improve falsehoods and add missing context, says Elon Musk. And then he pontificated about having like a Grokpedia, but I don't think this was ever real. I think he was basically just saying that Grok has the ability to discern truth from fiction and improve what it's like takes an article and then improve upon it with what it believes to be true, which I think that in and of itself is a dangerous statement based on how Grok is managed. Right. I think that's a terrible, dangerous idea.
And what it has done already, which clearly shows that it is actually not good.
Yeah.
And it is very bad.
Yeah.
And no, don't do that. And honestly, yes, go ahead and run Grokopedia because there will be maybe 5 visitors a month to that thing. I mean, nobody's going to use it. It's going to be a dumpster fire.
Like, what kind of echo chamber does he live in? Like that he
I mean,
that he thinks
he
this
gets
is
all the
best.
medals, so yeah.
Anyway, it's got to be some kind of crazy echo chamber. That's all.
It is. Yeah,
so,
yeah. Getting a peek inside of that head would be the story of nightmares. Like Stephen King can't probably write a better horror novel than what's ever in there.
It'd be wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Something else that's kind of wild. Virginia Tech adopts artificial intelligence into the admissions process. So now instead of having 2 people read your essays and application, it's only going to be one person. And then the other one's going to be AI. I don't know that I like this.
I think I'm kind of okay with it. Honestly.
Really?
I think it depends on how the AI is trained. I think it depends on what it's looking for. I think if you can fundamentally train the AI and truly believe that it's going to reduce bias in reading them to give more people sort of a shared footing, I think that could be a great use case for this.
But I feel like we're teaching people then to convince machines that they're good. And it's the start of this slippery slope of where we all have to appease the machines versus actually, relating to one another as humans and telling stories and conveying kind of feeling and empathy. Like all those things that a machine doesn't have empathy for your stories.
Yeah, but think about it. But maybe it's like this. I don't know how they trained it, but maybe it's like, all right, AI, you're phase 1. I'm human reader phase 2. Phase 1 is the essay the right number of words, right? Does it have some kind of justifiable thesis that it then expounds upon, or is it a mess of spaghetti sentences? Does it have a ton of run-on? Like maybe it's super basic level like that. It's like filter out all that junk, and which would all be the kids that didn't use AI to write their essays. Essentially, is what that would do, which is maybe not great. And then bring me the stuff that's legit, and then that person's the one that's like, okay, this has meaning, this connects, this. Maybe that's how it looks at it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't feel like AI is going to be, sometimes it just hallucinates, right? Like what if you feed it something and say, like, are there run-on sentences? Like 99% of the time it's right. But then 1% of the time it's like, yeah, I think it is. And then, this is so horrible. And that's like the golden child. That's like the one that you wanted.
That reminds me of the college professor that failed a kid for, cause he ran it through and it said, oh yeah, this is definitely AI written. And then the kid appealed it, ran the professor's thesis from 10 years ago through, and the AI was like, oh yeah, this is all AI written. It's like, see? You can't buy it, man. What are you doing? It's a great strategy.
I hadn't
right
seen
there.
that story.
That's so good.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. All right. Next up, AI inbreeding, the phenomenon threatening artificial intelligence. And that's, essentially where you've got AI consuming content and then writing and publishing content, like Sam Altman mentioned, is junk, and then reconsuming the AI published content to then dumb it down. It's a cycle of trash and garbage and not realness.
It's like a death spiral, right? Like it's just going to get worse and worse. This is the point that I've made like a couple of times, I think even this week, to people, is that, look, AI, I've been using it a lot. I've been using it in coding stuff. It's fantastic. It lets you do things much more quickly than what you could do on your own. It has enhanced my productivity, but to me, AI cannot make those ingenuity, innovation leaps on its own. It just cannot do that. And I had somebody argue with me the other day that, well, look, somebody had fed it at like JPL or something like this, like nuclear designs, and it iterated and it figured out designs that nobody else had done before. And I was like, well, what you're actually seeing is that it's iterating and testing the same thing over and over again in different ways, much faster than a human can do.
Right.
It's not ingenuity. It's brute forcing solutions into these problem sets. So if that's what we're looking for, then yeah, great. Let's brute force some of these problems that we have and figure it out. Like we've talked about that on this podcast before, where it's like, oh, these things have tested like thousands of compounds much quicker than any human can do.
Right.
That's what computers are. They can do things much quicker than humans can do. But don't tell me that that's ingenuity and that's innovation, because it's not. It's just brute forcing these things.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I will say from a communication perspective, I do find that AI does a better job of creating a document that is thoughtfully laid out in a way that most people can sort of grasp it,
right?
As opposed to, because like you and I, we both have our specific way of thinking, and like you and I would create a document that sort of lines up with our way of thinking. The problem is the way we think about things is not the same way that other people think about things.
Right.
So it does a good job of sort of making that like universal application so that it's consumable.
Yeah.
But then it's going to create that and then just consume that over and over again. And so there's not going to be a lot of innovation from there either.
Yeah. That's actually a good point, because it is consuming all of this stuff that's kind of and averaging it out over everybody's writing. And so figuring out like, how do most people understand or write content and making it in such a way that, whatever you do produce then is consumable like that. So that's actually a very interesting point. And I'm going to have to think about that. And maybe like it does make sense then for even the things that you can do well on your own to at least send it through one of these things.
I do.
To make sure that it's formatted the right way, right?
I do exactly that, because I recognize that like I can dump in a ton of like my expertise, my knowledge, my like everything that I need for, like, for example, I was writing a website request for proposal the other day. And one of my buddies that looked at it was like, hey, he laughed. He's like, how much of that was you and how much of that was ChatGPT? And I was like, it was a lot of both, honestly, because I'm bringing like my 25 years of experience to the table. And I'm like, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this. And I'm dumping it all in there. But then it formats it in a way that is just so profoundly crystal clear. And like I probably would have gotten 85% there if I'd done it completely from scratch on my own. But it got it 100% there from a clarity perspective. I think better than I would have done, because again, it's bringing all these other things to the table, you know. And on top of that, it also, what I love to do is like do a dump into that and like, okay, what am I missing? Right. And then it'll go, oh, well, you haven't even thought of this, and you haven't thought of this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right, I didn't think of that. I should have done that. I did another example. I was building a content marketing plan. And same thing. It's like, oh, well, you forgot a sales funnel. I was like, oh my God, what am I thinking? Of course I need a sales funnel. Let's build that in, baby. Like that was so good. So so it's helpful for that.
Well, last up in our AI block, something that everybody's been like, what were you thinking? OpenAI and Microsoft reach tentative deal to revise partnership. And I'll go ahead and do the next one too. OpenAI realignment to give nonprofit over $100 billion stake. So it seems like the deal between Microsoft and OpenAI has finally been ironed out. That's going to give them the ability to move with their structure so that, a good portion, it sounds like about 20% of the company is owned by this nonprofit. Right. But they can kind of restructure as a for-profit entity and kind of move forward and then be able to raise additional funding and do all the crazy things that they want to do. The claim is that they're going to be valued at $500 billion, which will make them by far the most valuable private company startup around. I think before then was probably Stripe. I know Stripe has gotten into the double-digit billions, close to $100 billion. Right. This, far outstrips that, if I'm correct. I don't think there's anybody else that's in that range. So I think this is one of those things. It's either going to the moon or it's going to zero. Like there's no two ways about this.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens for sure. And the other thing that was interesting in the article was there were some clauses in once AI reaches what is it general intelligence or AIG
general artificial intelligence
AGI artificial.
Yeah,
whatever it is. I'm losing my brain. Anyway, but like at that point, Microsoft would have like less or like more limited access to the model or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
But then it was kind of unclearly defined. Like, what does that even mean? So it's
kind of like full self-driving. It means whatever it means.
It means what it means.
It means whatever it means to help me out.
Need it to mean. You are the general intelligence.
Yeah. So whatever it helps you out to be the most of that's what it is.
Oh my gosh. All right. Next up, WhatsApp cybersecurity executive says Meta endangered billions of users in new suit. Sanjay, what did it do and why do we care?
They were basically giving unfettered access to people internally to all of your messages.
Oh,
and
good.
They were not auditing that.
Yes.
They were not tracking that. They were not securing that. And this person said, like, hey, we shouldn't be doing that. And they said, yeah, no, it's okay. And they've now come and filed a whistleblower lawsuit against Meta. So that's not great.
Yeah, that's not great.
All of your stuff just kind of out there, which is why, I'm such a big fan of Signal.
Yep.
Which is the next story.
Yep.
Signal's first paid feature adds encrypted media and message backups.
Yep.
And then also introducing Signal secure backups from Signal themselves. There's a blog post about it. So basically they have introduced a way for you to pay $1.99 a month and be able to have complete backups of all of your history with your people up to, I don't know, some large amount, 100 gigs or something like that of data. So your photos, your videos, all that stuff that you're saving on Signal, they're doing it in such a way that they actually don't know whose backups are whose.
Oh, okay.
So you've got to keep your kind of backup key secure.
Yeah.
If you lose that, they're like, we can't help you. Yeah. But right now they back up about 45 days worth of stuff. So if you move to a new device, you get 45 days worth of media and all that stuff.
Right.
But if you have this add-on, you have basically unlimited backup of all that stuff. I think this is super smart. This is a good feature.
Yeah.
I think a very small subset of people will care about this feature.
Yeah.
But that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
Them paying $1.99 a month will probably generate a good bit of revenue for them. So
yeah,
it
might. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what their user base is like, but like,
it's huge.
Is it? Okay.
It's huge. I see people all the time. I'm like, how are you on Signal? I see the notifications of people joining Signal.
Yeah, but is that real, right? Like that because the problem is like me, right? I got on Signal. I used it sort of in a limited capacity. And then nobody else from my world other than you was on it. And I haven't had it in years because of that. Right. And so I think that's the use case for almost everybody. They get it.
Yeah.
They try it out. They realize it's a waste. It's a desert out here and I'm out. I don't need it anymore. So, I mean, maybe. I'm
a huge user. I mean, we use it completely within the family.
Yeah.
I think it's a great experience because I can do it on the desktop. I can do it on the phone. It doesn't really matter. And I think there's a good number of other folks too. There's actually a handful of startup founders that I talk to. That's all on Signal as well. We talk about business and whatever. And so, you know that it's secure. But yeah, I mean, I think is usage as high as the adoption is? No, probably not. But I think there are a lot of people. I've reached out to random folks when I see they join Signal. I'm like, hey, welcome to Signal. Glad to see you on here and whatever. So,
all right.
Cool. I think it's good.
All right. Next up, Netflix, Amazon.
Nope, you missed one.
No? What did I miss?
Robinhood.
Oh man, I was excited about that one too.
That's a great one.
Okay, yeah, I was kind of looking forward to Robinhood, a broker built for social media age. A broker built for social media age. So weird to read that. To launch its own social network, they're going to launch like a Twitter-esque social network inside of Robinhood, and more importantly, you're going to be able to like follow trades of people like Zuckerberg and Nancy Pelosi, and which is kind of great. And I kind of love it. I really do. Like
those you can already do kind of out in the wild because all of that stuff is
Twitter
public information
dedicated to those. Yeah.
Right. And they're delayed and stuff. So they've created some avatars that do the same thing. So you can follow those as well.
Right.
But what's interesting to me is that for anybody else that's actually on Robinhood, you can actually post about why you're making these trades and they're public, but you can only do them if you've actually made the trade on Robinhood, which I think really sets this apart from other platforms where people will go in and talk about like, oh, I bought this and I bought that, or I'm selling this and I'm selling that. Right. And you have no way of verifying that is in fact true.
Right.
Whereas this is like, hey, put your money where your mouth is. I know that this is true because you've done it because it's been verified by Robinhood. And now you can tell me why you believe, this is a good buy, why you spent X dollars on this, and all that. So it's, I think, a very interesting approach that they've taken.
Yeah.
Which is also like, why did none of the other brokers think about doing this as well? It's so fascinating.
It also,
and I think this is really going to help them grow.
It also makes you wonder, like, is there like some mega influencer that's gonna perform so well on Robinhood, like day trading or something insane, but it's all verified. It'll be like it's all legit. Like that's gonna be. It's like somebody's gonna rise to the top there, and that's gonna be fascinating to watch. And it will not be me. I'm not that guy.
So what's interesting is there have been platforms before where you can follow along somebody else's portfolio and invest like them, like they are a fund manager. Yeah. So you'd say like, oh, I like this person, the way they trade. I'm going to put in $5,000 and I wanted to mimic their trades and whatever like that.
Right.
I think that is the exact place where Robinhood would go in the future with this kind of a feature. Yep. And then they'll make money based on those trades, right? Like, oh, you want to become a fund manager? Fine. We will charge you X dollars and, we'll take a cut of all the people's fees that follow you. You get the remainder of the fees or whatever. So you make money. We make money. And then all these people, if you do well, will continue to make money based on your trades.
It's great.
And the results are all public, right? Like in real time, you will know what person's fund is doing better than another person's fund. So
I like that.
I think it's super smart and it's super interesting. And I bet you some of these other online brokers will quickly follow this because they'll realize like, oh, we're about to get lapped.
They're about to get
with
crushed.
Some of this stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody that's not getting crushed though, because they're teaming up and it's really weird, strange bedfellows in this.
So strange. Yeah.
Netflix and Amazon set alliance to broaden connected TV impressions for ad buyers. What that means is you can go on Amazon and buy ad impressions that are going to get delivered on Netflix, even though Amazon and Netflix compete because of Prime Video and Netflix, but still.
Do they? I mean, like, really, in what world is Netflix and Prime Video? Are they really competitors? Like, I mean, like, come on, like
they both stream video. If that's a competitor, that's the same.
That's kind of like saying, like, my 1999 Dodge Dakota is a competitor with buying a brand new Rivian truck. Like, they're competitors. You could buy this one, the 1999,
they both have 4 wheels,
or it has 4 wheels and it drives, or you can buy the Rivian. Like, they're competitors. Like, but are they? Are they? I don't think that's true.
I don't think so. So it's super interesting. I think this bodes well, probably for both of them, right? For it to be easier access.
It makes it easier.
Now I wonder, should we be buying ad space for Tech Talk Y'all and make a video that we deliver on Netflix?
I wonder how much that would cost. That'd be fascinating to find out. I'm up for trying it. I'm up for finding out. Yeah.
I don't think we have the pockets deep enough to do something like that.
That sounds fascinating. All right. Last one before we get to Weird and Wacky. Spotify ads, lossless streaming for 8 years after 8 years of teasing. And no one on this podcast cares. That's really that's my byline.
So it's basically a Muskian promise, Muskian level promise. They promised it 8 years ago. Finally, 8 years later, they're actually delivering.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to tell the difference. I'm going to enable it so I can hear it. But if I have to enable it, I don't even know if I have to enable it or if I just get it.
I don't know either. Yeah.
I don't know. If I have to, I will. And I'll not be able to tell the difference before or after is basically what's going to end up happening.
Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable snowman.
He's not an axe murderer. One of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
Okay, first up on Weird and Wacky, Burger King hacked attackers, quote unquote, impressed by the commitment to terrible security practices. System described as, quote, solid as a paper Whopper wrapper in the rain, unquote. Other RBI brands like Tim Hortons and Popeyes also vulnerable. Did you read through all the things that they did wrong?
Wasn't there a password hard coded in the HTML, and the password was admin?
Yes. What are you doing over there, man? What do you like?
So good.
They could go in and make requests for stuff. They could make themselves employees, and they elevated their permission, like all kinds of things.
It's so good.
And just yeah. But the metaphor there, solid as a paper whopper wrapper in the rain is so like, good. Oh, you nailed it.
So
you
good.
nailed it.
Yeah. Last one up. That's so good. This 30-year-old CEO says his AI negotiator can successfully haggle down the price of a car by thousands of dollars to get access. It's going to cost you $40 a month, and it's going to generate a fake email and a fake phone number for you. And it's going to go after the specific car that you want in the specific area you want and start interacting to get an agreed upon price with that dealer. And claims they've got a lot of satisfied customers that have saved $2,000, $3,000, one time $4,000 off of MSRP. Which, I mean, if you're saving $4,000, that dealership was really raking it in. I mean, like, let's just be real. But yeah, I mean, this is great. Like, it seems like you're going to get a low response rate from dealers, I would think, because they're going to realize they're dealing with a bot. But obviously, somebody's responding. So great.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, years ago, I found a service, and I think I've talked about it on the podcast and recommended this service before. But basically, it was a car buying service that was manned by people that used to be car salespeople.
Yeah,
and you would pay them to go and get you the best deal and negotiate the price. And I tell you what, I've used it on one car and it was worth the money because I didn't have to deal with any of that hassle. I was able to just walk into the dealership, sign the paperwork, get out of there. Like there was no, like it saved so much of my time.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
When I read this article, I was excited about this because man, this would be great.
What I like about it is that it forces you as the user to preemptively say, this is the car I want. These are the features that I want. This is the price I'm willing to pay.
Yep.
And then it takes all the emotion completely out of it. And it's up to the AI to go and get you that deal.
Right.
And then you're not going to be like, oh man, I'm never going to find this car. I better buy this one for $5,000 extra because, I'll never find another one. Like, no, it doesn't matter to you. It's not even, you don't even see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great.
It just keeps working in the background. I love it.
Yeah.
Tech wreck, time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
All right, Sanjay, it's Tech Wreck time. What do you have for us this week?
So I was inspired by one of the articles that we had this week about the submarine cables being cut. And I found a website that's the submarine cable map.
What?
Because I was like, where are these things anyways? Like, I don't even know. Like, does somebody have a map? Yes, somebody has a map.
That's amazing.
You can go on this website and actually see where all the submarine cables are and kind of see where, who gets fed by what cable.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Super fascinating. It's kind of a neat thing. It's a little, goofy thing, but go check it out. See how much of your internet traffic is being served by underwater cables.
I like that. I'm here for it. Okay, cool.
What about you, Adam? What do you have for us this week?
So I've got an app that I'm going to recommend. It's called Imprint. And so basically I was realizing like I'm spending a lot of time mindlessly scrolling through TikTok, which sometimes has value and legitimately, and other times really does not have value. And probably often does not have value. Imprint, on the other hand, always has value. It's kind of like, imagine like Duolingo, where you're trying to learn a language, but instead of learning a language, you're learning about philosophy, or you're learning about the study of happiness, or you're learning about the art of negotiation, or like they have like 120 different courses you can take. And it's like 5 minutes a day, and it's beautifully designed, and like the animations are like really well done and very thoughtful. And it walks you through the basic ideas, and then it reinforces those ideas with like little quizzes. And you set a goal for every day, and then that's it. So I try to do it for 10 minutes a day, and I'm learning. I'm in a philosophy course right now, and I'm really enjoying it. So it's kind of like the history of Western philosophy and who taught what and why they thought this, and some thought this and others thought this, and it's good. It's also a little shocking how some of the theory behind the downfall of Athens largely reflects the current situation of the United States. That's a whole different conversation for a whole different podcast. But nonetheless, I took a screenshot and sent it to a friend. I was like, this looks shockingly familiar, and it scares me. So there is that. But
history does often repeat itself. So
it really does. So yeah, if you want to learn, Imprint, the app Imprint is pretty fantastic. So there you go. All right, Sanjay, how can our listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me at sanjaypark.com. What about you, Adam?
You can find me on my website, adamjwalker.com.
Dun, dun, dun.